Welcome to Method to the Meadness. I'm Burley Mullins, and this is a very special episode. Sometime last night, I hit 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 of you saw my channel, decided you liked it, and hit the subscribe button, for which I'm exceedingly grateful. I honestly thought that I would be making these videos for maybe a dozen or so friends and the void mostly. So anything on top of that has just been kind of wonderful to see. I'd hoped that I would get more people interested in Mead, and it seems like I might have done so. With the excessive gratitude out of the way. This is the final episode of the Dragon's Breath Mead from Skyrim, the very first mead that I've made for this channel. I think it's about time. This mead was pretty close to ready when I bottled it, and so it was mostly just giving it a little bit of that extra time and finding a good opportunity for it. And that time has come. Of course, I could be wrong. We'll find out. It's, I don't know if this is gonna come through on the camera, but this is like a pale blonde, maybe straw, like hay color. It's not quite golden. So there's a punch of fruitiness along with the warm sweetness that you'd traditionally associate with a honey. And that's all from the varietal of honey. This is truly showcasing the purple star thistle and orange blossom honey. The purple star thistle is absolutely the star of the show. I find that orange blossom honey provides a pretty good sort of baseline, almost candy-ish sweetness. And so anything that you add on top of that just sort of builds onto it. And it definitely seems like purple star thistle was the move. It almost smells like apricot. A little citrusy. That might be from the orange blossom honey. Some of these fruit flavors may be esters from the yeast as well. It might not all be honey. Something to look out for when you're making your own meads is finding the right yeast to pair based off of off flavors that yeast can produce besides just the clean alcohol fermentation. It doesn't smell bready at all, in case you're wondering. If ever this mead had a hint of sharpness, and I don't remember if it did, it's long gone now. It almost reminds me a bit of like butterscotch, but with a fruit character to it, which is way more vibrant than butterscotch might, let you believe. Unfortunately, there is absolutely none of the black pepper zing that I was hoping for when I first made this mead. So if I were to do it again, I would absolutely double, maybe triple the amount of black pepper that I put into this, because I did want it. There it is. Very, very, very late into the finish. There's just a tiny tickle of the tongue coming from that black pepper. I would want more of that. Once you taste it, the butterscotch note appears on the nose, but there's no sharpness to it at all. It's I know some people don't react well to the word mouthfeel, but it is a thing, and it is butter. It doesn't cling to anything. It just goes right on down, smooth as you like, It's silken. I think I remember being a bit disappointed with the sweetness last time, but its time in the bottle has been very beneficial. The sweetness level now, on tasting it, is just about perfect. I wouldn't have the sweetness any other way, even with more of a pepper zing. I'll definitely need to come back to Purple Star Thistle Honey in the future. And knowing what it tastes like in a mead, it just adds, Thor! What you crying about, homeboy? Thor, come here. Come here, boy. It's not your dinner time yet. Not for another 30 minutes. I'll definitely have to revisit this Purple Star Thistle Honey in another mead going forward. But it's nice to have this experience with it so that I know how it reacts, specifically in this concentration to this specific yeast. And having this sort of in my, wheelhouse now, in my, as part of my knowledge of mead making, it will definitely allow me to more precisely shoot for specific flavors going forward. One thing that I've learned from the whiskey world that does translate pretty well to mead making and the enjoyment of mead is once you've drained the glass and you just let it sit for a bit, a lot of the underlying characters that you might have missed on first nose will come forth. Usually it's the heavy honey characteristics that are a bit blinded by the water and alcohol content. They seem to be the last thing to evaporate, and that just adds a bit of depth to the experience. Your mileage may vary, but it's just something that I've picked up that has been useful for me. That wraps up this series on the Dragon's Breath Mead. Please remember to like, comment, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Let me know below. Would you like me to revisit this at some point? Do you have any pop culture meads you want to see me recreate or try to? Or if you have any other questions in general. I'm typically pretty responsive, especially while the channel is still relatively small. I don't know that I can promise to be so in the future. Depending on what happens. It may stay, a small merry channel where I can, where we can just have chats in the comments all the time. Who knows? I've been Burley Mullins, and this is Method to the Meadness.